3, 2, 1.
Twice a Week podcast, episode 5. Did you do a 2 and a 3?
I did 5.
A 10?
Yeah. That's 2 5s.
That was good.
Did you do the 2 and the 3?
No. I thought you were being super, intelligent.
No. Brain doesn't work that fast. Had to just go for the 5s.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you do. Yeah.
Okay. Why? We're just going right in. We don't have a shout out we wanted to do in the beginning or anything.
Dude, shout out to you guys.
Shout out to you guys. Nice, Pulley.
Thanks for listening.
Nice.
Boom. All right, let's do it.
Why do we have a seam going down the middle of our nut sacks?
Oh my! I don't know.
So you do too.
Question. Everyone does. I don't know.
It's like whoever created us, finished at the ball sack. Like they did everything. Like they put on our skin, over the skeleton, over all the meat.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, they just took a zipper and whoop, and then just pulled the zipper off.
Yep.
And that's what we have.
You might be onto something.
What is it? Why? I look at it every day. I do look at it every day.
Do you know what the medical term is called for that?
Do you?
No.
Time to get good at Googling.
It's going to be something ridiculous.
Damn, make sure you're smooth, dude. I got to edit this one.
True. Do you know?
How should I word this? Help me.
Ball sack seam scientific name.
Scrotum Wikipedia.
Scrotum Wikipedia. They should have it. Here, I'll work double.
The scrotum or scrotal sac is an anatomical male reproductive structure located at the base of the penis that consists of a suspended dual-chambered sac of skin.
Oh, I have it right. No, I have it right here. It's called the perennial raphe. R-A-P-H-E. The perennial raphe is a visible line or ridge of tissue on the human body that extends from the anus through the perineum.
Fantastic. So it almost sounds like a car, like a Rolls Royce. Rafe.
The perennial raphe, dude. Yeah. Or like some starship in a in a sci-fi movie. Get back to the perennial raphe.
Wait, but can we talk about? Oh God.
I don't even want.
I don't want. Yeah, don't look at this. What's with the dual chambered thing? Is your sack dual chambered? That's why I stopped. I stopped all searching for it. This is just Wikipedia scrotum.
What do you mean?
That's all it is.
What do you mean? Is my
listen to this. The scrotum or scrotal sac is an anatomical male reproductive structure located at the base of the penis that consists of a suspended dual-chambered sac of skin and smooth muscle. Dual-chambered.
Yeah, there's I think there's something going up it that separates the two. I'm pretty sure.
To prevent twisted testicles?
Yeah, yeah.
How easily does your nut go into your body when you're masturbating? Does it happen every time?
No, that does not happen almost ever. I don't think that's ever happened.
Last week, sometimes I was beating it pre-shower, and I got in the shower. I was standing up, and my nut was still in my stomach, and I had to bloop.
That's not.
And it popped down into my sack. Do you think that's because I had an inguinal hernia once?
That's exactly why. That's not good. That should not happen.
Really?
It's not supposed to happen. That's not ever happened to me. It's never happened to me. I would.
Maybe we just have different anatomical makeups.
I would freak out.
It didn't hurt at all.
I think the hernia.
If it doesn't hurt, it ain't gonna burst, right? Well, and I busted both of my nuts. So I
Wait,
remember when I got super big?
Yeah.
So I fucked up my hormones by taking these supplements and stuff. I trained really hard for 8 months. I got up to like 220 pounds, and I was deadlifting. Or no, sorry, I was shrugging.
Let's put the picture up of us over there.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah. So, an ape. A true ape. Not looking good at all, but I was strong. The only time I was happy was when I was in the gym. Everywhere else, I was just kind of fat. You know? So I was doing these shrugs, four plates. Like very, they weren't full range of motion, but it was, and I just felt it. Just my nut, like
that was the craziest little. I'm gonna enhance that. I'm bumping the mic. I'm putting my feet on it. Oh,
we're sorry. We're getting better though. I feel like
yeah.
I'm doing this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for doing. We're gonna be better. Every episode will be better.
I'm trying to stay here. I'm trying to not hold it.
Right. Yeah, I love touching it. That feels good. So my nut busted. So like a varicose vein, like that people get on their legs. Those old ladies get. That's like purple. So that's what's on. You can feel it. There's 2 humps on my left nut and 1 on my right nut. Where the pressure, I was forcing blood into my sack so much from straining, from trying to impress my trainer, that it just had nowhere to go, and it escaped in these little bulbs out of my nutsack. And I thought I had testicular cancer because we're right in the pocket for that,
Yeah.
So I went to the urologist, and an Indian guy, super nice, fondling my sack, way too close to my age to be touching my sack, though.
You blew your balls out.
I don't like that.
Weights.
Yeah, he's like, man, you just blew your balls out.
You blew your balls out lifting weights.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I don't fuck around in there.
That's
yeah.
Good Lord.
And I have
someone who.
Oh my God.
We need to look that up. We need to look it up. Like someone who does medical stuff. Let us know that if you have the hernia thing. I feel like once that happens, that's something. Once it happens once, it's good. It's like more.
It's like a concussion.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. Especially because I didn't go to the hospital. I pushed it back in myself. So like I felt a part of my so an inguinal hernia, from what I understand, is part of your intestine falls into your sac biome.
Oh.
And you have to push it back in.
How is that even possible? Yeah.
The same thing. It's from lifting. It's the same thing.
It's crazy to think that there's just an open avenue there for that to happen.
Yeah.
Like
anything could get in there.
Yeah. That's crazy.
What if you shit into your own ball?
Yeah. Dude. No, you can't because that's where pee is stored.
Okay, yeah.
You can't be mixing them.
Okay.
Gosh.
What else about that? Oh, before the Indian guy started touching my nuts, the ultrasound was so awkward.
Oh, was it a guy or a girl?
It was a female.
Oh no.
She was older, but she had been doing it like 20 years, so she knew how to make you feel comfortable and everything. But she wasn't very clear on how I needed to sit. So there's this chair that is like a lounger, and she's like, okay, so you just get them down to like your knees, you don't have to go all the way down, honey.
Yeah.
And she gives me a washcloth to fold my dick up onto my stomach and put the washcloth over my dick so that it's just balls, which is funny looking. So
okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it's out of the way, but
it.
I'm also not like,
Yeah.
like it's a washcloth. She's like, here you go, just cover
There's
cover
no
it
funny
up.
business. It's
But what I
only.
didn't realize was she wanted me to sit on like this, like a lounger.
Yeah.
But it like wasn't set up right to like my height and everything, so it didn't look like that's what I needed to be doing. And the machine was way over there. So instead, I pulled my pants down and was sitting on the side like this, holding my dick, like fully engaged.
Yeah,
getting
like
tired.
you were.
I was like, "Will you please come in here? Like this is probably gonna take a while."
Yeah.
And she comes in and she's like, "What? What the fuck are you doing?"
Hey, baby.
She's like, "Honey, get up on the chair." I'm like, "Oh, well, you didn't fucking say that."
Oh my God.
It was super awkward.
Oh man. But it all went well.
But that ended up being good. She, like, as a ultrasound technician, they're not supposed to make any type of diagnosis, right?
Yeah.
Like have anywhere. Like that's the doctor's job to review. They just get the imaging, as you know.
But they know.
But they know because she's been doing it for 20 years. So she's like, I'm not supposed to say this, like HIPAA or whatever, but you, you're not going to die. Like,
yeah.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh.
So
it ended up being okay.
She's like, what's your deadlift max? Because that's looking like what happened.
Yeah.
They're big guy. Yeah, you were huge at that point.
Yeah, I
too.
was massive. Yeah, I was sure. Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty funny, dude.
Chair didn't break.
It was really funny.
That's awesome. Dude, some streaming service needs to pick up Rocket Power. They need to go to Nickelodeon.
Ooh.
They need to go into Nickelodeon Studios and say, hey, we'll write you a check. Just give us all the seasons of Rocket Power. Whichever streaming service does it, you're going to get a bunch of subscribers. It did it.
It just fully went up from the...
It did that like when you were over. It did that a second ago. Just
wow. God, I just got a ball sack on my screen. That's it.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, dude, do you remember Rocket Power?
Oh my God, dude! I'm so happy you're talking about it.
Yeah, I have not watched an episode of Rocket Power besides like an excerpt on YouTube in probably like 10 years, like an actual episode on TV.
Yeah, I feel like I played the video game more recently than watched.
Me too.
Than watched the show.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to start a urinal partition to get that show back. Petition.
Nice, dude. Speaking of urinal stuff and ball sacks and pharyngeal flants, what is that seam called? I already forgot.
I forgot. Here, I got it.
While you're looking that up, I want to, and speaking of urinals, or you got it already?
Perennial rave.
Perennial rave. Talk about a fucking album.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay. Speaking of the nutsacks, we spoke about the urinal partitions, hence the callback. It was very funny, by the way. Shout out to Splash Hog urinal vertical screens. So another urinal that I went to in the Nashville airport.
Splash Hog urinal vertical screens.
I'm not joking, dude.
Splash Hog.
So you know, like, what are they called? Urinal cakes?
Yeah.
Like in urinals, and it's kind of supposed to help the splash, but if you really got to pee, you're shooting straight, parallel to the ground. You're not shooting down, right?
Yeah.
Because you got to pee really bad. You pretty much have an erection.
Yeah.
So, piss boner, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, this urinal cake was not only here and way bigger than all the other ones, it shot vertically to the top of the urinal.
Okay.
Yeah. Living in the future.
Why has no one done that yet?
Unbelievable. Dude, Splash Hog.
I thought you were about to... I don't know why I thought this. I thought it was going to be a vertical screen that was the back of the urinal, and it had, like, TV on it. That's what I was thinking you were about to say.
I've seen some crazy TVs at urinals before.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, this was a full, like, splash guard. I got no droplets on my pants.
Yeah, that should be the new standard.
Yeah. It's great. Shouts to them.
If we critique bathrooms anymore, we're just going to have to come out with our own bathroom designing company or something.
Yeah, we're going to be a direct competitor to Bill Gates.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because he does all the he does the toilet stuff.
Yeah.
I forgot about all that. Huh.
Yeah. Also, just PSA, I want to say to people that still smoke cigarettes, I used to be a bad boy and a really cool guy, but you should put your cigarettes in the trash can because wherever you are throwing those on the ground, it makes the entire surrounding 100-yard radius look like trash.
Yep.
And I almost had to say something to someone the other day, but I'm too fucking nice. I'm too nice, Pooley.
What'd they
and
do?
I never say anything. And then I regret it every time.
What'd he do?
Just tossed a lit guy right in front of my truck. Siggy butt right on the ground.
Why do people
still doing that?
Why do people do why?
And it wasn't an American Spirit.
Why do they think that they just go away?
Yeah, and they'll like throw away their McDonald's wrappers, but like, a cigarette butt isn't trash.
Yeah,
same thing.
I agree.
Smaller.
If I'm like, I could be in a multi-million-dollar neighborhood, and if I'm walking down the street and I see like a spent cigarette butt just on the side of the road, I'm always, even just one. It's just kind of
bad
like,
taste in your mouth of the area, right?
Yeah, you're just like what?
Like, the people here don't care about anything.
What are you doing, dude?
Yeah,
I'm with that.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
Even if it's just one, but some places, yeah, if they're all over the place, it's like, Jeez,
like, what happened here?
Sheesh. Yeah.
Something else was happening besides cigarette smoking.
Yeah, for real. Too many.
Yeah.
And they're all about the same age. You guys tell us what you think about this. So, I'm sure you guys have watched other podcasts. Y'all have watched Joe Rogan. You've watched some of the Kill Tony stuff, I'm sure. All that fun stuff. And we do something different. We use the wireless mics. And we have one SM7B. Jason, if you want to hold that.
Yep.
And
it does feel good.
we didn't want to buy it does feel really good. We didn't want to buy another one. So what we're thinking about doing is the SM7Bs come with a big cover like this. So maybe we just take a regular mic here and then paint a toilet paper wrapper black.
Identical.
What do you guys think about that?
I think $20 they forget that that's not real in 2 episodes.
Look. Twice a Week podcast here coming at you from our totally legit SM7B.
Yeah.
Yo.
Looking good.
Looking good.
The only thing is figuring out the chords. But we have some special episodes in mind. Just did some cool upgrades to the backyard of the studio.
Oh, yeah, outside.
And we're potentially thinking about doing a couple outside episodes, which we need a very close proximity mic with a big, fluffy mic head on it.
Mm-hmm. I know a lot of the times, too, it's probably happened a couple times in some of our episodes, but with these wireless mics, if they get too close or, like, if they're in a certain proximity, they'll do, like, a weird, like electronic sound thing.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
it has happened a couple times.
Wouldn't do that, but we're gonna have we're gonna start bringing on guests here pretty soon. I don't know who we're gonna get on first, but we talked about this last episode. If you guys have any like really cool suggestions,
yeah, please send them our way. And yeah, because we got the couch space, baby.
we can have 2-3 guests.
Yeah, dude. Most people that do a doubleheader podcast are in chairs.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that says about us, but we are on couches.
Couchies.
And they're fake leather.
They are. They fold down into futons. You know what's funny? No, you go ahead. Definitely you.
Okay. I want to explain the reason that we're doing this podcast. And the reason that I don't think that either of us like want to be famous, but I think that we want to be heard.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big reason, besides just the absolute joy of making music, like being able to have a platform, whether if it's something like we sit on here, we sit in the living room and we're like, I want to fucking say something right now. It's cool to have like a bunch of people hear that and maybe have like a positive effect on someone's day or week or month or fucking year. You
Absolutely.
know? Or completely change their life. So we're doing this, at least a huge reason why I'm so happy that we're doing this is to be like just like a driving force of rationality.
Yeah.
And just, it's okay to have these conversations. It's okay to be fucking stupid.
And
it's okay to say things that are edgy.
And it's now more than ever, a lot of people like have not forgotten, but they're not like face-to-face conversations have become a taboo over the past year and a half or so.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I guess people watching how two people interact like naturally, like how we usually do,
right,
is very beneficial, I think.
Yeah, just that. Even if it's not a pressing matter or we're not like giving advice on something, just us doing this.
Yeah.
Because I know I love seeing it. It's my favorite fucking thing ever. It's like, oh my God, there's normal people out here still that live and breathe.
Yeah.
And don't just attack people for the sake of attacking people because there's no repercussion whatsoever.
Yeah, we're both very good at like it's completely okay, and it's a good skill to have to be able to like entertain a thought without accepting it. Like you can entertain like different beliefs, you can entertain different ways of thinking without accepting it, because it's fun. You pick up these new conversations and new ways of thinking, and you just see where it goes. It doesn't mean that's like something that you believe in. Like even if it's something ridiculous, it's fun to talk about just crazy stuff.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And then maybe that goes in with the last episode. How you were saying like what you're trying to convey isn't always what comes out in the finished product.
Convey. That's such a better word. Was I not saying that? I was saying portray.
Portray. Yeah, true.
It's not false, right?
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, like what you're trying to
was sexier. Sorry.
What you're trying to convey in your music is a certain thing, and I guess having this kind of platform to talk to people so they know like what we're thinking when we're making our music and like why we're trying to do it is a very good way for us to correct those misconceptions about what you're hearing and what we were actually trying to say.
Exactly right.
You know, I think that's amazing. I think every musician and every band should do some kind of something like this.
And that's kind of the like let's talk like Drake or The Weeknd. They do almost no interviews. What our perception of them is their music.
Yeah.
Even if they don't mean what they're saying, even if Drake has never done anything gangster related.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people probably thinks he's fully thug, you know?
No.
Because he doesn't like but then the few times you hear him talk, you're like, wow. You know?
Yeah.
But like
well, it's like
I love getting to know the people that I listen to and getting a better understanding. Like Lil Tecca talking about the song that blew him up.
Yeah.
He's like talking about 2 Glocks, whatever, driving in a coupe. He's like, I've never shot a gun.
Yeah.
I can't drive yet.
Well, it's because you're. It's really funny.
That's fantastic, dude. And that's just it's fucking art, right? Like you're just it's what you think fits best in the moment. Maybe you're feeling cool right then, even though. Like, I'll talk about having money. I don't have a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like,
well, dude, here's a perfect example of... So, like, what they're doing is they're creating an image, and then they're selling that image, which is completely fine. That's how it works. And it's kind of interesting to me. I think that's completely okay because there's an artist called Mark Maggiore. I don't know if you ever heard of him. So he's a French painter, and he paints the... Look him up on Instagram, Mark Maggiore. His last name is M-A-G-G.
Wait, is that the fish tower, dude?
No. Okay. This guy's French. But dude, he paints the most beautiful, amazing, like American West like paintings you've ever seen. So like cowboys riding through like big sky, and he paints these clouds that are just beautiful. But he's French. He's from France. He's not from the American West. It's a completely different time period that he's painting, but he does it perfectly and so well, and he's so well trained. And I think that's kind of like where like all these really big stars fall into place, like Drake, and then you got, I don't know, just all the big stars. Like if they're able to portray this idea just in such a beautiful, like good way, even if they're not from that area, it's like, okay, it's like, is that a bad thing necessarily? Because Mark Maggiore is one of my favorite artists of all time. Just his paintings are beautiful, but he's from France, so it's like it's kind of like the same thing.
Not saying that I do this, but sometimes it's portrayed by the person who's a fake better than the person who lived it.
Yeah, because it's a third person perspective.
Right.
And they're like, well, this is what you think you were like it was like, but this is what the rest of the world thinks it was like.
Right.
You know, this is how pop culture views it. Yeah, and
I like that. I like how that's a thing and is accepted.
Yeah, but
whatever sounds good, dude.
But then on the other hand, it's always good. Like I'm sure there's beliefs that big pop stars have. Like I'm sure there's things that they think that they would never say on an interview, which is fine. But I think with smaller groups like us, or like if you're trying to, progress your music career, it's good to be very open about who you are in the beginning. So then for the rest of the time that you're making music, or the rest of the time that you're doing your thing, people kind of know who you are, and if you're genuine in the beginning, it's easier on you in the long run, because then you don't have to put up this front, you don't have to pretend or anything.
Have one pocket that we're in. Let's say we have 3 pockets. Have one of those pockets be the true, authentic us.
Yeah.
So that's always known with everything else going on too.
Yeah. And it's kind of like what we were talking about last episode. Like if we make a song, let's just say this probably won't happen, but we just get the urge to make like a like a really heavy rock song or something, or like a really heavy metal song, and we make it, and it actually turns out to be really good, which it probably wouldn't because I don't know anything about heavy metal. And everyone responded to it really well. Like, yeah, make more of this. We would probably go out of our way to make a little more of that, even though I didn't grow up really listening to heavy metal. I don't think you did either.
No.
If people liked it, I would be fine with like coming out with like a couple more, just because that's what people like. And so same thing with like what I was talking about with Mark Maggiore. He's from France. He didn't grow up in the American West like during the cowboy days, but he has such a good image of it in his mind that actually resonates with a lot of Americans better than American Western painters. So it's like
right.
Yeah, it's like which one's better? You know, there's no answer. Neither is better. They're everything, you know.
Right. And I feel like some of the shit that Drake raps about is so trap.
Yeah.
And he's so not.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And never was. And he's the best.
Yeah.
In the trap. I mean, in my opinion.
One more point too I want to bring up is what we were just talking about with like people, like with Drake not being trap but rapping about trap stuff, with Mark Maggiore being French and painting American Western paintings. When that is the case, I feel like a lot of the product portrays the positive of the situation, and it leaves out the negative because the person who is making the art never experienced the negative. They've only been exposed to the positive aspects of that certain thing. So like with Drake, he doesn't, I mean, some of his songs do, but most of the time he's singing about like the positives of that culture and like all that stuff, and how like you get all this money and you get all the cars and stuff and all that, and it like glamorizes it, but there's no negative, and so it's more easy for people to accept and listen to because it's all the positive. Same thing with those Western paintings. It's all of the like positive, like it's a beautiful landscape, they're riding the horses and stuff, but then they leave out like,
he's not painting hurricanes.
Yeah, random thunderstorms coming through and flooding their campsite
as
cowboys, and now they have to like pack up everything and they're freezing cold. Right. Because someone who experienced that, if they painted the paintings, they would paint stuff like that. And maybe the audience doesn't want that. They want the glorified version of it.
I don't want this hanging in my house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because people are dying.
Yeah, they're freezing cold. It's not pretty. It's raining.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe that's another reason, too.
For sure.
That style, you know, or if an outside source does the artwork,
right,
it's usually more accepted by the masses because it has a positive light on it.
And with music, it can be like and a lot of people, I feel like, listen to music this way. They don't even listen to the lyrics. It's what chords that beat is hitting, and that's jolting the mood that you're feeling, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what if you're rapping about killing people or whatever? Yeah. If it's a beautiful classic pop.
Yeah. You know. Yeah, like Andre 3000, or like a lot of his music, like Bombs Over Baghdad. Like that song is such an upbeat, like oh, this is a cool song, but he's rapping about just like the worst stuff. Yeah. Like super depressing.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Which I like those songs.
Oh yeah.
It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Mind fuck you a bit.
Oh yeah.
Man, thank you guys so much for listening and watching our podcast. We love you guys. We're always open to suggestions on things. I think we mentioned in the last episode. If you have segment suggestions or guest suggestions, we are open. If they are good, 99% sure we're probably going to do them. Just a heads up, I'm going to be editing this episode, so it's probably not going to be that cool visual-wise.
Heck yeah.
But love you, bro. Love talking to you always.
Love you.
Great episode. We are twice a week. And...
Thank you, guys. We're twice a week.
Let's have a chat. Oh, my fucking leg fell asleep.